All right, back to it. So let's start with the most dangerous mindset I see as a therapist. That sounds like a great video to watch.
There is a tendency that I'm seeing more often in my work as a counselor. It's concerning. It's this tendency of having a very little tolerance for how long people are willing to suck at something. You know,
Hmm?
a,
Having a low tolerance for how long? So, wait, say that again. What did you just say?
it's concerning. It's this tendency of having a very little tolerance for how long people are willing to suck at something.
Oh, okay, I see. So, yeah, yeah. I mean, I've noticed that too personally. Like a lot of people will try something, they'll give it like a week or something, and then they just drop out. Right? Like I've been streaming on and off for like 12 years, 13 years, right? And this is like I don't know. This time I'm just like really trying to stream, and I actually realized this about myself a while ago is that like I had a super low tolerance for being bad at this and for not being the streamer I wanted to be and blaming everything on like the fact that streaming changed, right? And that Twitch is different now and shit. But it's like, fuck that. No, I just wasn't good enough to compete. I'm still not good enough to compete. But hey, every day is, a learning opportunity.
A very low tolerance for how long they're willing to kind of struggle and toil and fail in their attempt to attain a certain goal. So I make this video because it's such a concerning uh, predicament, because I want to talk about what I think they're losing when they forego that experience of the toil and struggle and failure. But also,
Yeah, no, it is like so vitally important in life that you fail, right? Like you learn absolutely nothing from your successes and you gain everything from your failures. So like the worse it, God, I don't want to say the worse it hurts, the more you should keep doing it because obviously that's a very masochistic mindset, but it 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 doesn't hurt to be hurt from time to time. You know what I mean?
too, I want to talk about why I think it's so easy to perpetuate and why I so fully understand and empathize with where they're coming from. So first, let's start
Also, is it just me or does this dude seem like super young to be a like a licensed therapist? But whatever.
there. Like looking at this situation, like trying to pick.
Oh, here, let me actually. Okay, let me update that. Boop boop. My bad. All right, back to it.
Picture myself as a 15-year-old or something being told, "Hey, read Catcher in the Rye, and I want you to write this 5 paragraph essay on it." I certainly can understand being like, no, guy. Why do I want to sit there and
Yeah, I mean that's something that I like super regret from when I was going to school is like I never tried on those projects. I would always wait until the like absolute last minute because I fucking hated doing it. Like I don't think anybody actually enjoys writing a fucking essay, but you have to, right? Not because you want to write an essay or because you're going to be writing them later in life, but it's again looping back to that whole mentality he was talking about before of people hate sucking at the things that they do. It's rough.
read this book, words on a page, boring the piss out of me, and then try to sit here in front of a blank page.
Yeah, God, I used to hate reading so much. Like, so fucking much. And it's like, partially because I'm like dyslexic and I have ADHD and whatever. So it was just hard for me to sit down and just do it. But like, eventually I started just like forcing myself to read. And I think actually Joe Bart even said it in a video one time how he like kind of struggled with the same thing and he would just force himself to like read heavy, deep, boring philosophy books because it gives you something to think about, right? Like it occupies your mind. Um, but with a lot of the concepts and those things, you have to like reread multiple times, and it's just again building strength through failure.
And write 5 pages worth of material about what I thought on it, yeah, kick rocks. ChatGPT's got me. AI exists.
I fucking hate the advent of chat GPT so much. Like it's made people so lazy. I mean, it can be super helpful, sure, but I feel like reliance on AI and well, AI and Gen AI, um, it's getting to a point where like I almost compare it to drugs, right? Where like if you can find that balance, everything's great. But so many people just overdo it, right? They do everything with AI. Right? And like I know you see these ads for like what Grammarly and Monday.com where they're literally like advertising doing your job on a daily basis and automating your entire job with AI. And that's just so fucking crazy to me. Like you go to school for years to like learn skills and then you do everything in your power to just never use them. To just have a fucking magic black box that you don't understand just do it for you. It's crazy.
Get away from me. I get it. I understand where they're coming from, right? Same thing with sports. Like, why would I want to join this team? Everybody else is already close knit. They're friends. They've been on this team for 2 years. They're looking at me like, who's this guy? And I suck. I'm throwing the ball like an absolute idiot, and everybody's looking at me, and I don't like how this makes me feel. Why would I do this when I could just go play video games? This is much more fun. Why?
Okay, can we take a step back real quick and just have a quick little side conversation and acknowledge that video games just aren't fun anymore? Like they're just not fun. And I mean, maybe I'm in a weird place because I'm rocking a 4790K uh, in my PC, so I'm pretty limited on what I can play. Right, I'm also bound to Linux because I can't run Windows 11, and I'm not a big fan of Windows 10. But it's like other. Let me think. Other than here, let's check. Let me go to Steam real quick. Yeah, let me go to Steam, and can I go to do activity? Where's my personal activity? My activity. So yeah, there's just like nothing here. Is that here? Let me go to my profile because that actually gives me. I I for what? I don't remember setting that. That's crazy. That's a crazy background. Holy shit. What kind of gooner ass background is that? I thought I had a pill one equipped. Whatever. Okay, so let's see. Recent activity. Okay, I guess I've played like 50 hours of games in the last fucking 2 weeks, but what have I actually played? You all recently played. Last 2 weeks. Oh, okay. Okay. I see what happened here. Yeah. So I played New Vegas for 20 minutes and then I basically just left Fallout 4 running for over a day. A little bit of Final Fantasy 10. But anyway, like I was saying, it like most new games just aren't fun. Like in recent recollection, you have what? Peak? Peak obviously an awesome game. And then you had the game that started that whole craze. What was it? Ooh, why can't I think of it? Why can't I think of the name of this game? Oh, it's gonna jump out at me in a second, I'm sure. Lethal Company. Yeah. Damn it, I haven't even played Company since 2023. That's insane. Um, but yeah, I mean, I feel like with the advent of this type of gaming is becoming fun again. But then you just look at like, you know, you look at something like Black Ops 7, sucks, right? Like it's not even fun to play. You look at Battlefield 6, and compared to Black Ops 7, it's fucking way better, but it still just feels like a game designed to just juice your time and your money, right? Like that, it feels like that's all most new games are designed to do, is just take your time and take your money, and it's just not the same anymore, right? And maybe it's like my life has changed, you know? Maybe I'm the one that's different now, but yeah, I don't know. Oh shit, why are we dropping frames? We are dropping frames like crazy. Okay, come on. Don't drop out on me. Come on. Go back to normal. There we go, I think. Yeah, we should be good now. Let me just keep watching it for a second. I think that's the end of our sidetrack conversation about video games sucking. I mean, we're still dropping frames every once in a while, but it's just like
I
individual
might go
frames. All right,
talk to that girl
let's see
and
what
try
he's
to
got
get
to
a
say.
girlfriend when I've got a simulated version of that right here in my pocket, and that'll take care.
Oh, damn, that's such a good point. Like, honestly, like the proliferation of available sex content is insane, right? Like, I mean, I know so many of us have memories of like growing up and finding Pornhub for the first time, whatever, but like it's so different now, right? Like with OnlyFans, and it's not like I don't even know how to describe the difference, but it's just like it's much more culturally acceptable to present yourself in that sexual manner and to sexually exploit primarily lonely men, like men who just want to be okay, and they can't. We can't. So we turn to porn, which it's a drug. It's a drug. That's all it is. It's a temporary bump in dopamine with no payoff. With no payoff.
What I'm looking for, at least for now, at least for this moment.
Yeah,
And that's kind of
see,
the issue.
he knows what I'm talking
We
about.
are sacrificing a piece of ourselves on the altar of convenience every time we take the counterfeit version, right? I'm going to take counterfeit version. I'm going to take counterfeit version that's going to satiate this feeling right now. And there's major issue with that because we're not even realizing that we're on a steady diet of this counterfeit bullshit because we don't have enough time away from our phones in general to have intentionality, to have deep insight.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty fair point. Like, I think so many of us need to put our phones down. And that's something that now that I'm like really trying to go hard in streaming, that it kind of fucking terrifies me. Because just today, I've used my phone more to post on Twitter, to post on YouTube for shorts, to edit my Twitch VODs and re-upload them. I've I've used my phone more in the last 5 hours than I probably would like to have all week, and it terrifies me because I'm just like so distracted from my life going on around me, and I wish I wasn't, but if I want to do this thing I'm trying to do, I have to be. But I don't know. It's a catch 22. You know, the modern digital era as a whole is a catch 22 because we all have this, you know, little magic black box in our pocket 24/7 that just distracts us from fucking everything.
Thought in our own lives, you know, um, contemplating what am I doing? Is this how I want to do things? Not having any perspective on ourselves or our lives because we're just in it piece by piece, moment by moment, eating the counterfeit. And so that's kind of why I'm saying I understand why this is so concerning. And social media exacerbates and kind of facilitates this environment of the perceived, of the aesthetic, of just do the surface level, just shine that surface, just make it presentable, boom, just fix it, quick fix, all about the looks. That is why I get the concern and I empathize with it. But I don't think we put so much thought into how deeply detrimental it is to us. I don't have a good word
Mm.
for or understanding of exactly what it is we're leaving behind. Maybe you do.
Yeah,
What we're leaving behind when we
exactly.
forego that
I
time of
wish I
toil
knew.
and struggle. But it's
Oh, well, no, if we're talking about that part, yeah, I do know what we're leaving behind. I just explained it. It's it's growth, right? It's growth. And that that fucking terrifies me, right? That so many of us are afraid to grow. We're afraid to be wrong, we're afraid to fail, we're afraid to fall down. But we have to, right? And maybe in another video or another stream I make, I'll, you know, explain some of my own experiences in this, and like the depths that I've gone to that have made me want to fucking in game, in game, of course, in game. But yeah, no, it's it. The world today is a messy place. I couldn't imagine bringing a child into this world. I could not imagine being a father. Like I don't know how you would create a well balanced human being, and even if you did, right? Like let's say for a second that you know understood everything I'm saying here, right? And you had a kid and you want to raise them right to be the perfect person, right? Not perfect person, no one's perfect, but you want to raise them to show the morals and statutes and standards that you want to hold yourself to and you expect them to hold themselves to. At that point, they're the weirdo, right? At that point, they're the outlier in society, right? At this point, just trying to be normal, trying to put your phone down, not being afraid to fail, and genuinely trying to grow and be better. You you're weird. People don't like you for that. People just think you're so strange for not taking these shortcuts, right? Not cheating. And all you're doing is cheating yourself by holding on to this mentality of staying surface level in everything that you do. And it's crazy. It's detrimental. It terrifies me. I'm so glad I found this video because I think about this all the time. I really do.
like when you read that book and you're bored and you don't know if you can get to it, you're learning something about discipline and how you push yourself and what does motivate you and what do you really want out of this life. And then you're sitting there with the blank page and you're thinking about the book and you're actually being honest and earnest in your attempt to pull something from who you are and what you understand, what you make of this place, and the words that were written on the page, and you're kind of coming up with something brand new with the synergy of those two concepts, and you're making something new, all your own, your fresh own ideas on the page. There's something so beautiful and transcendent and improving about that they're just leaving on the table. It's like there's this whole garden in you that can grow, and you can be this incredibly enriched person. But the soil, the enriched soil that is needed for that kind of internal garden, only comes from that time under tension. It only comes from being the new guy in the boxing gym who doesn't know how to throw a punch and is embarrassed as the guy next to him makes the bag sound like it's a war zone. You know what I mean? There's something in that you learn. And I don't mean just, oh, I'm learning the skill of boxing and now I'm a better boxer. I mean, why am I insecure? Oh, I'm learning about brotherhood. I'm learning about camaraderie. There's these internal things that'll happen too. These things that will happen to you that pull on all of these existential questions left, right, and center, and you're going to go, wow, I know myself so much better. But what in the world is AI going to?
Yeah, that's a fair point. Um, how do I want to say this? At the end of the day, the only person you have to be able to be alone with is yourself. And so many people today just can't do it. They just can't be alone in their own head. And honestly, that's been a reason for me to get back into streaming too. Is as much as I want to talk against this, I've been a victim of it, right? Like just trying to sit at home, be alone in my head. I can't do it right now. I really can't. Like I am scared to be alone with myself. And I say that while sitting here speaking into the void, watching someone else's video, staring at multiple empty chats. I'm talking to myself, but I'm painting it in a pretty picture where it's socially oriented. So it feels different, but but it's a little scary to have to be alone with yourself sometimes.
To teach you about yourself? What in the world is the video game going to teach you about yourself? And maybe that one has a little bit more merit than I'm giving. I'm not a video game person, but there's probably more merits in the video games. But with the videos on your phone, what is that going to help you with?
Ooh, videos on the phone, like with the proliferation of short form content. Like it's crazy how much time people spend just scrolling through shorts and reels and shit, right? And as an example of this, I've uploaded 5 shorts today. Those 5 shorts have gotten more views than any of my YouTube channels did in 2 years time. It's been 5 hours, right? Like that's just goes to show you how like commonplace it is for people to just sit there and all fucking day. And I wish I could say I was different. I do it too. But damn, it's crazy. Zero thoughts now. Wow, that's a crazy name. That is so that is so topical to what we're talking about here. Anyway, back to the video for a second. How you doing? Good to meet you. All right.
What's it going to give you, like, that's true here?
It doesn't. It
I don't
doesn't give
know.
you shit,
I don't think a whole
but
lot.
it feels good, right? It
I
it
don't
gives
think
you a
a whole
break
lot.
from
And
thinking.
I worry about that tendency for kids, younger individuals, and even
Yeah, no, it's terrible. Like I was saying just a minute ago, like I cannot imagine bringing a fucking child into this world. I cannot imagine trying it, like having have grown up in a world before all this shit existed, where we didn't have these fucking OnlyFans girls who just give you that quick little just to get you out of your head for a minute. We didn't have all this short form content and AI and shit I couldn't imagine trying to bring a child into this fucking world. It's crazy.
Older individuals, even myself, to just give up more of who we could be, and just handing it over to convenience for the perception, for the aesthetic, for the sheen on top, to just get us to the next hit.
And that's what I was saying a minute ago too, about how it's all just a drug, right? Like the sooner you realize that it's all you're doing is just getting yourself to the next moment, right? Like I find myself watching YouTube videos now, and I one of the first thoughts that goes through my head when I see a YouTube video is I look at how long it is, and I specifically budget on how much of my time I can waste with it, right? How much of my time I can be absent-minded and not be thinking about myself, not be alone with myself. And that's fucking crazy.
I guess that's just a life dictated by dopamine or something, you know? And it's not a life I want to live. So I'm trying to break out of it for myself and do more that pushes me out of my comfort zone, that teaches me more about myself. I don't do enough of it. And I'm trying
None
to
of
help
us
other
do.
clients to understand the benefit of that toil. Anyway, what do you guys think about that? And what are we leaving behind when we say, I'm just going to hit the convenient button? That was easy. You know, what are we giving up? Curious. Okay, turn off. What are you doing?
Hey,
Ooh,
Vsauce!
ooh, ooh,
Michael
ooh,
here.
ooh, ooh. Wait. Damn, that was a good video. I like that. That was a really good video. Let's see. Do I want to do this Vsauce one that just came up? How the 1% tricked us into not trying. Let's check this out. Let's see what this has got going on. Oh, and then I think we might have to do why no one has personality anymore after this, because that seems awfully topical. Also, this video over here seems weird. I'm no longer spiritual, and I'm so happy. That that's crazy to me, because like for me, I started finding more peace in my life when I gave up some of that, some of ooh, when I gave up some of the mental gymnastics of trying to figure it all out, and you know, accepted religion, accepted spirituality in a way where I could actually find peace. But all right, back to this video. Let's actually watch this for a second.
46. Michelangelo lit two giant bonfires, gathered every drawing, sketch, and cartoon he could find, and threw them into the flames. This sounds like the act of a madman, but he knew exactly what he was doing. Michelangelo was hiding the evidence that to become as skilled as he was, he had to try. Today, 500 years later, famous people and their PR teams are doing the
Damn, has it really been 500 years since Michelangelo? Oh, I guess he was around in... Yeah, he was around a while ago. My bad.
the exact same thing. Early songs vanish from Spotify. Cringy first videos disappear from YouTube. Awkward interviews are buried, sometimes unsuccessfully, which I'll show you later, because they know now what Michelangelo knew then, that hiding the process lets them maintain the illusion that their skill is born and not built. And therefore,
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Like, I don't even really have anything to say on that right now, but that's something I think we're all guilty of trying to do at some point or another.
out of our reach. This is a video about how society is constructed to trick us into not trying, keeping them up there and us down here. But the story of how exactly all begins with one question. If you're going to be great at something, will you be born great?
From the start, Zuckerberg taught himself C++.
I mean, that's kind of the kid he was.
The media hits us over the head with what I call the born great narrative. Effortless talent that seems to come out of nowhere and shoot them straight to the top.
15-year-old Justin Bieber has quickly become a household name.
These stories are real, sure, but they are extremely rare.
Hi, my name is Billy.
Billie Eilish is the first.
That's what Billie Eilish used to look like? Are you fucking kidding me? That's surprising.
First artist born this century to hit #1 in...
Do you know why you're homeschooling?
Because fuck the system.
Failure.
Yeah, fuck the system. The system fucking sucks.
Like you're a genius. I really
Thank you.
Bobby Fischer is an authentic genius.
I'm a grandmaster too.
They're the 0.001%, the outliers.
Is chess a gift? Could a guy who doesn't have a gift for it learn to be a great chess player?
Okay, I'm actually curious what he says about this because I wholeheartedly believe that anyone can learn to be a great chess player. It's not a game of luck, right? It is very much a strategic game, and when you come to understand it, anyone can be great. I promise you that. It's just a question of how much time it's going to take you to get there, and everyone starts in a different place.
Great? No, it could be good though.
They are the least common path to greatness. Yet these stories are disproportionately shown to us by the media because they're exciting, clean, they get clicks, skewing us to believe it's the most common path to greatness. And when we do hear about people who made it later in life, their stories are often selectively rewritten to downplay the years of hard work, cringe, and failure that actually led to that greatness. This all frames greatness as inaccessible, mysterious, and out of our reach. After all, if you're not born with
it really
you'll never
does, to be
truly
honest.
great, so then why bother?
So right now, I'd like you to meet Tiger Woods and his father, Earl Woods.
Again, that's Tiger
When
Woods.
Tiger Woods was 2 years old, he appeared on national TV to demonstrate his golf swing. By the time he was 4, his dad could drop him off at the golf course at 9 a.m. and pick him up at 4 p.m., sometimes with a wad of cash in his tiny hand from any old guy who was dumb enough to bet against him. How you interpret this story depends on what psychologist Carol Dweck calls your implicit theory of intelligence. This
Ooh, I'm curious about this. I want to hear what I'm actually not even going to give any input on this. I want to hear what she's talking about before I give any input, but I think I know where she's going.
This is your deep, often subconscious belief about where ability comes from. She found that people fall into 2 camps. Some people have the entity theory of intelligence, meaning they believe that ability is fixed. Either you're born with it or you're not. Others have the incremental theory of intelligence, the belief that ability is malleable, something you grow through effort, strategy, and
which is where I lie. I believe that people are born potentially with different levels of skill or capacity in different things. But at the end of the day, whether you start here or you start here, you can both climb. You know what I mean? And like, it's not, and a lot of the time what happens is people who start here opposed to here is they move up, but they get so stuck in their fucking head that they are great that they stagnate, while the people who are forced to start from a lower place continue to work, and eventually they're on par with each other,
Which of these beliefs you hold quietly shapes how you move through the world. Whether you see a story like Tiger's as proof of what's possible for you, or proof of what's out of reach for you. I have the perfect example of this. My boyfriend is a very good golfer. At his prime, he had a handicap of 0, or scratch if that means anything to you. When he was younger, he had the chance to go pro and he chose not to. And when I started writing this video, I texted him to ask him why. And he said this: "I didn't think I was good enough. I was very good, but maybe not great." Now, am I...
Oh, that's a whole nother thing. Yeah. That's a lot of people get stuck in their head. How do I want to explain this? A lot of people, what ends up happening is, like, I'm guilty of it too, right? Where I think I'm good at things, but I look around and I see the people who are better, or I see people who I wish I was good at, or as good as, and I get caught on it, whereby there are people who have, I want to say, I don't want to say lower intelligence. It's not intelligence, but they don't think about it. They don't spend time in their own head assessing whether or not they're capable of being the next great. They just do it. And they just continue to be great and continue to improve, whereby the people who probably have the potential to be just as great get stuck up on this thought that they're not quite good enough. We're not quite good enough. And it's dangerous, right? It's a very slippery slope. And A lot of the time it takes someone in your corner telling you, no, you actually are good enough. You actually, you might not be great now, but you don't tell yourself that you don't have the potential to be great.
By saying that he could have been the next Tiger Woods? Not necessarily, but because he saw greatness as something you have or you don't, instead of something that he was able to cultivate, we will never know. I will never be a gag. He didn't believe that effort could close the gap, so luckily for Tiger, he eliminated himself from the competition. The born great narrative had done its job on him. People with an entity mindset might look at Tiger Woods and say, well, he was just born wired differently, a natural. He had greatness from the get-go. But the incremental mindset might see a father who had decided before his son was even.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I see that all the time. I genuinely don't believe that anyone's born great. I just look at the people around them who, like Tiger Woods, his dad pretty much forced him to be a great golf player. Michael Jackson, you didn't have the option to not be great. There's so many like football players and baseball players and shit who they're incredible. They're awesome. They're the best in their league. But they went through, probably 18 years of basically being tortured into performing better and better and better. And, one of my old roommates basically had that, right? Like he was basically an all-star pro in every sport he did because he didn't really have the option to not be great. Like his dad was forcing him very heavily to be great, right? And at one point he was he was doing wrestling, right? And he had spinal meningitis, right? Bro literally died on the fucking mat at like 14 years old. He died on the fucking mat. And the only thing his dad had to say is, "Did you win?" That's fucking crazy. But there's people out there like that. And it's messy because it's like by forcing someone to be their greatest, there is that almost generational trauma that comes with it. But at the same time, I almost have to respect it because you're forcing someone to actualize their true potential and to truly be the best that they can be. And I mean, I think if you're doing it for their sake, it's one thing, but so many of these people, like, Tiger Woods' dad, Michael Jackson's dad, and what have you, they're looking to make a prodigy and a profit. That's really what it is. But anyway, back to the video.
Born that he was going to be the best golfer in the world. And so Tiger was exposed to thousands of hours of effort, training, and practice, while you were still busy eating dirt and pooping in your pants. Dweck's research found that people who have the entity mindset are less likely to persist after setbacks, avoid challenges, and derive less satisfaction from effort itself. If you look closely, everything in society is built to try and nudge us towards the entity mindset. So am I saying that this is a conspiracy? Well, I don't know, but
I don't know what about this would be a conspiracy, right? Like, I know this is something that we don't think about on a daily basis, but I think most people have a solid understanding of this. Like, there is a system in place that it hurts us, but it's there for a reason, and we play into it. We play into it.
Will say it's mighty convenient for the 1% if we believe it. If the masses believe that greatness is born, the 1% gets three main benefits. First, they get to be seen as magical, mythical, and inaccessible. They get to be admired and worshipped as something scarce and special. Second, they get to have less competition because, as we've seen, would-be competitors
they scare people off. Yep, they just self-eliminate. It's a good way to put it.
Territory, but hey, I'll say it anyway. In capitalism, it is much better for the 1% if the 99% believe that greatness isn't available to them, because otherwise.
The rule of kings, you know what I mean? It's the people at the top, they want to pull the fucking ladder up. You can't fucking let them.
Who would work
know your fucking worth.
Take that one if you want, leave it if you don't. But there's also a surprising benefit for the 99% to believe the born great narrative too. Philosopher Nietzsche once said, if we think
Oh,
of
damn, we're
genius
getting
as
into
something
Nietzsche now?
magical, we are not obliged to compare ourselves and find ourselves lacking. To call someone divine means here there is no need to compete. What he meant is if
that's
we
a
see
good
greatness
quote
as
from Nietzsche.
born, we get to excuse ourselves from even trying. The brain is an energy-preserving machine. It's wired to avoid uncertainty and effort and repeated failure because those things are metabolically expensive. So accepting I just wasn't born with it is efficient. It saves energy. So you can see that the born great narrative works for everyone. Media gets views, the 1% gets less competition and stays admired, and the 99% get the relief of knowing they couldn't have done it anyway. It's a twisted mutual incentive loop that keeps people from trying. But then what's the antidote?
You are the one.
What is the antidote?
To be the world dominant player.
Well, I think a lot of it goes back to those values. I think Facebook.
All right, I'm curious where this is going. Mark Zuckerberg is a fucking enigma, and I'm curious what she has to say about this.
Is an online directory for colleges.
To deprogram yourself from the entity mindset, you have to hunt for proof of process. Now, as I said earlier, a lot of the proof has been thrown into digital bonfires. But luckily, I've uncovered some from the embers for you. Ben Affleck was cut out of the first movie he ever did because he couldn't nail the one line they gave him.
They had to pay someone to come in and say, hey man, take it.
Then there's Post Malone's first song.
I miss the old Posty music videos though. It was so good when Post Malone was still just like a YouTuber doing fucking YouTube music. It was so good.
Lady Gaga performing in an IKEA parking lot. Like Ed Sheeran sharing his...
I'm curious about that. Did Lady Gaga always do the like extravagant over the top like dressing even before she was like big? I'm gonna have to look into that. That's crazy.
First recorded song.
Oh.
And these are just the ones that haven't been burned or buried. Legendary investor Warren Buffett puts his success down to about...
I gotta be real. I'm not. I have... Well... Yeah, I'm not super impressed with a lot of the things that Warren Buffett has done, because, like, ooh, there's some things that if you look at his, like, ROI and shit on some of his investments, he could have done better, right? Like, he tends to perform very safely, to the point where he's one of the wealthiest men in the world, and he is still living in the same house that he's had since the 1950s. Right, and I don't know. Like, on one side, I want to, like, crucify him for it, because, like, he has so much money that he literally does not use, and he could affect so many people's lives if he just spent money. But he doesn't spend money. He does not spend any of his money, and I don't know what's going to happen to his wealth when he dies, because, like, it could be bad. Like, that would be a major chunk of damage to the economy, potential. Well, I mean, he's already doing damage to the economy by, well, how do I want to word this? He, like, wakes up every day, and, he like, has a cup with, like, quarters and pennies and nickels in it, right? And he goes to McDonald's with that, and depending on the change that's in the cup, that dictates what his breakfast is. Like, this dude could have anything, but he chooses the dollar menu as a billionaire, which, I mean, to be fair, that works. You know, I mean, if that works for you, fucking awesome. But also, as a New Englander, I guess I can understand the mentality of staying in that same house, even though he could have crazy mansions, because, like, shit, man, like, I'll probably die in the house I grew up in, to be fair. And he raised kids in his, and, you know, got married to his wife before he bought that house, and so it makes sense. He has sentimental attachment to a, like, 1,300 square foot house in, like, Illinois or something. I don't remember where he's from.
dozen truly good decisions. That would be 1 every 5 years. Just
Go back to that. Most of my capital allocation decisions have been no better than so-so. Our satisfactory results have been the product of about a dozen truly good decisions.
About a dozen truly good decisions. That would be 1 every 5 years. Just 12 good decisions in 60 years. Seeing the process before the greatness nudges us back to the incremental mindset, showing us what's available to us.
I was just a kid who had a lot of time to focus on things that I wanted to focus on, which was kind of part of the homeschooling and the reason that we homeschooled.
Like, a lot of people are focused on like taking over the world or doing like the biggest thing, getting the most users. And I mean, I think like part of making a difference and doing something cool is focusing intensely.
32% of Gen Alpha want to be YouTubers. And I think that that's largely because Mr. Beast has made sure his imperfect process to the top has never been hidden, with videos like this.
At the time I'm recording this video, I have 8,000 subscribers and 1.8 million views.
And this.
What's up, guys? I'm a little bit short on time today. It's hard to maintain a daily uploading schedule.
What I'm saying is that 99.999% of people who arrive at greatness were not born great. They had to climb what I call cringe mountain.
God damn, that brought me back some nostalgia. Thinking about, first off, just old Mr. Beast. Like, I don't even really, to be honest, and this might be a little controversial, I don't even really fuck with new Mr. Beast or modern Mr. Beast, but like, I got some nostalgia for the old Mr. Beast. I remember him back when he had like 40,000 subs. But yeah, I don't know. I think something that just caught me off of that little clip is the old daily upload thing. Don't do that. You should not be doing daily uploads necessarily anymore. Like, it kind of fucks you in the algorithm. But it was a different time, man. That's all I can say. Different time.
To get there. And it's time you started climbing too. So this is Cringe Mountain, and this is the land of cool. Everyone who is now great has made this journey up and over the mountain. It is the well-trodden path to success. When you're setting out to learn and grow and improve, you're just gonna have to be cringe at it. You're just gonna have to keep climbing it until you get to the other side. And by the way, if you want some company along your climb, I have a newsletter where I talk about Cringe Mountain and how to become a category of one. So sign up. I'm
Of course you
the
do.
link in the bio.
Nah, I
But
shouldn't say
also
that. That's
beware
rude.
Of base camp. You can get stuck here for your entire life in the comfort of procrastination,
And so many of us do.
self-doubt, excuses,
And
anything
it
to
hurts
avoid
so much
actually
to be in
starting
base
the
camp
climb.
for me
So in a
at this
world
point.
that's nudging us to believe that ability is
I don't
fixed,
care how
the most
fucking cringe I am
radical
at this
thing you
point.
can do is to try publicly. Michelangelo famously said, "If people knew how hard I worked to get my mastery, it wouldn't seem so wonderful at all." But I disagree. I think it makes it seem more wonderful because everyone you admire also once stood at the base of Cringe Mountain. The magic isn't in the talent, but in the trying.
Because everything around you that you call life was made up by people that were no smarter than you.
I can't be the
Damn, that was a pretty good video. I like that one too. All right, I'm probably gonna head out for a bit. I gotta go eat some dinner. I might be back on tonight. I don't know. This is already my second stream today. But yeah. Anyway, it's been fun.